The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everybody, welcome to the weekly Noyantis Usergroup meeting. Today is the 13th of July 2020 and myself and John are your hosts. As always, if anyone's got any queries or questions or ideas, feel free to open the mics and raise your hand. We'll get the mics opened and we'll cover the questions accordingly. I'll just open the question up. We've already got one question today and it's from John. So that's John likes to throw us a curveball, so that'll be good. Announcements before we continue. There will be no user group meeting next Monday, so that'll be Monday, the 20th of July. And that's because I'm giving myself a long weekend off. I'm taking Friday and Monday and giving myself a birthday. It's my birthday on Sunday, so I'm giving myself a birthday weekend off. So yeah, I made an executive decision, so to speak. So there you go. So no webinar next Monday. Updates, there's various updates all in progress as we've discussed. The version 19.2 of the CodeJack wrappers will be out within probably tomorrow afternoon. I just need to finish doing the builds and so on, and check one of the settings on the registry com. I think I found a funny, if you will, on this one. So I just need to check that one setting, and then they will be released. That's it really. No other updates in this past week. So yeah. So John, over to you.
Okay, so I've moved my ribbon bar to a separate window, and then I'm docking the window on the app frame. Okay. And I have it resizing okay.
As in a Clarion docked window, that is.
Yes, it's a Clarion docked window.
Yep, got you. Yep.
And it has some advantages, I guess. It seems like it loads faster. I don't know why that would be, but I don't know. And there's less code in the app frame and that kind of thing. So I have the resizing working. When I resize the app frame, I send a notification over to the toolbar window, I guess.
Okay.
It's resized, and it resizes the command bar fine.
Okay.
It'll make it at least, widthwise. The only issue I've had at the moment is there's a minimize bar option where it shrinks up. It loses all the big buttons on the ribbon part and makes it just a skinny thing.
Right.
And the windows, I can't find an event for that, and I can't find a way to resize the toolbar window so it's the same size as the skinny part.
I understand. Okay.
And there's the other thing too is there's an option to move the top menu to the bottom, and that also changes the height of the window, and I can't figure that one out either. So there's two things there. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I could actually lose that option entirely. I don't even need that option, to move.
You should be able to get. Well, technically, what you've done is, and you are waiting for the next update. I know that. But you in some respects you've replicated what the normal CommandBars does, because we all know you can't put an OCX on the app frame. You can technically put it on a toolbar, which is on the app frame, but Clarion, regardless of CodeJack or Chillcat or anything, any kind of control, Clarion does have an actual bug in it where you can place an OCX just on the toolbar, and don't initialize it, just literally place an empty OCX container or an OLE container on the toolbar, and then if you use the VCR buttons in any of your child browsers, it will GPF. So like I said, that's regardless of anything. So that's why I never use the toolbar. If you've already got one on there and you're not using the arrow buttons, then Skin Framework might make use of it, and calendar reminders might make use of it, that kind of thing. But I don't explicitly make use of the toolbar option because of that bug. So what we actually do is we create a docked window, just like you're doing, and then we listen for those particular events, like moving the bar below, the file, the system menu as it is below, or resizing, and so on and so forth. So it's only what we should be doing now. So if you want to show your screen, and I'll dig into the code here, and we'll have a look at those particular actions. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get it. I gotta get my program up though. So give me a second to do that.
Unless you want me to replicate something what you're doing here, I can send you an example after that.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be the way to go then. So otherwise I got to recompile and it takes a long time. If
Okay,
you can just make up
we'll
a
generate one
window
then.
with an app frame on it, yeah,
Yeah.
just simple thing.
Legacy or ABC?
Legacy.
Right, okay. So just we might as well do something to what you're doing. I'm going to keep it in that build actually, which is not the latest CommandBars. So it's going to be the same version as you're on, or very close to it. So I'll keep it in the one where I'm using for schedule it. So let's have a quick look. Under the webinars, I need to remember to keep my notes for the recording. Okay. Come on.
You selected Win32exe at the top there, by the way. There you go. Isn't that a weird thing? You just scroll over and it just if you don't click on it, you just roll over it. Yeah, and it'll just select whatever you rolled over. So yeah, if you
Just that, I didn't realize.
It's a weird interface on that one.
Okay, so we want, first of all, let me go to Clarion. Okie dokie. Not going to use that. And the dictionary, what's in there should be fine. Okay, cool. Because I've got a few Clarions, I'll just put it to lib mode. That's going to be, I've got quite a lot of Clarions on there, different paths and so on. Okay, so we want a standard app frame, I take it.
Mm-hmm.
Have a quick look at that, make sure we've got a. Oh yeah, that's okay, but I didn't actually create that.
Mine does have a regular menu like that at the top and then the ribbon bar underneath it. I don't think that makes any difference really.
Got you. Okay, so we've got something like yours so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got a new procedure. And what are we looking for? Docked bar, we'll call it that.
Okay.
Regular window.
Regular window. Yep.
Now, I presume you don't give it a frame.
I'll have to like that. Mm-hmm.
So no frame. We don't want obviously no caption, and we do want it to be toolbox locked.
Yep.
To the top.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. Oh, we don't start it. That's not very good. I'm not actually thinking
where to go.
Right. You legacy. I don't do too much in legacy. So where's our best place to call it? Should I imagine after open window?
That's when I do it after the event open. Well, you can do it. I do it after event open window, but.
Oh, okay. In there. I'd have to check the template. I might actually do it there. I can't remember. Like I said, for those watching, you're actually doing very similar to what we actually do in the template.
I thought that was the case.
Okay.
There you go.
shouldn't that remain docked to the top?
Yeah, one would think.
Dock top. Initial state docked. Yeah, top. And if it's docked, okay, it's probably floating by default. Fine. Yeah.
There you
go. Okay. Cool. I don't think on the window you can give it size of full, can you?
You could. I don't know.
Okay. Now,
It was a thing that
dive into the class here. So I'm going to be on the other screen, probably doing lots of ums and ahs while I read through some code. But that's fine. So docking, CommandBars. In fact, a lot of this, I'll be honest, is part of the common class. So that starts it. It needs to know the main class. Oh, now there's a shame. Okay. Just thinking there, because ultimately the way I do it, the child window, the docked window, does basically have access to the class which is still on the actual app frame, which means that class has got access to the normal Windows height and width and so on and so forth. If the app frame's height and width, we're not going to have that. But that's no problem. What we're probably going to have to do is create ourselves some global variables, which is very crude, but it would be a way of doing it. Is that okay?
Sure. I use Ultimate Notify, so I'm just sending notifications back and forth.
Yeah, that would. But I haven't got the Ultimate Notify in here. So yeah, we'll just do it this way for now. Very crude, but
yeah.
Like I say, the way, just so you know, the way the implementation of all of our products work is the class would be defined on the main. That would be started, but so the OCX is obviously on that window, but it knows of its parentage, so it can get back to the frame, it can get back to the parent window's attributes, and it can trap for events and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do here is basically all the manual work of that. Okay. So
it's really just the size of the frame, of the main frame, because the rest of the resizing would be in the docked bar, I would think.
Yeah. Although the height really shouldn't make much of a difference for the height, but we'll store both anyway. I prefer to work in. No, we'll prefer to work in pixels. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to do that. And what I would also do normally is store, save and restore that setting, so whatever it was set to beforehand. But again, in this one, we know it's not. So again, very crude, but it'll work. So that'll get you. I might have to pinch that code a second, actually. That'll get you that. And after this window's opened, is that actually open there, the window open? Presume it is.
Yeah, it's What was the question?
So it's rather than just like the window init. So yes, technically you've issued the open. By this point, the except loop is running, so the window is visually open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we want this window. We'll just do the width for now. And we're not really bothered about the height. Let's just see if that gives us a... Yeah, okay, so that's got our width. Now, it's not going to help us for a resize. Just need to tackle that, that event. Sized, yep.
Yeah.
Go and pitch some code. Yeah, just thought we need to thread, know the thread, yeah. You forget just how much the common class does for us and takes, you know, all of this work away. Now, normally you'd have some kind of thing. I'm just going to do event user for now to that thread. Normally you'd have a dedicated, you know, notification or an event or whatever. But it's pretty safe that shouldn't be being used at that time. Like I say, notification would be better. We have take window event. Where do we do this in legacy? Take event? No.
Go to source. I never go through this way, so I wouldn't even know.
Tell you what, give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let's get the template open at the side of it. And I'll say exactly where I put the take event for our stuff. Accessory template win. So there should be after event handling. Priority 7.5.
After.
That's an after. I'll just do the free size here, but I'll change the priority in a second and see if it's right. See what you visually see. And we go off at a tangent here, but what you visually see here and what the actual internal embed IDs are different, and so on. So basically, I'm looking for an embed called at percent app except loop after event handling, and then you give it a priority. So we'll see how this works.
Okay.
And let's have a quick look at that.
Yeah, that's the end of all the events.
Except loop after event handling, take window event. So yeah, that's kind of. Let's take a quick look at that. Oh, and is it interrogating event function, which I presume it is. Yeah. Okay. So far so good.
So far so good.
Now we want a ribbon bar on there. So we've done a lot of work and we haven't actually got a command bar on there yet. Good news is when you get the new one, yeah, even if you want to keep it in its own window, you won't lose any, you'll still get the speed increase, dramatic speed increase, so you won't lose anything, if you're doing this work. Oh, yeah, I'm actually on 19.2, and I'll just use a built-in theme for now, and then I'll copy a relevant theme file in. So, oh, you're going ribbon, aren't you?
Yeah, it's ribbon.
Yeah, no, we will copy one in them. Exactly, we'll just copy them all in. So we said blue, and I think we're good at that. And let's get a ribbon bar. Oh, one thing you everybody hopefully will be pleased to know. So I'm going to add a command bar here to this window, and we've got the docked or the positioned, and we're going to use the docked one here, which means it will just take over whatever particular size it needs. So it doesn't really matter what we draw this at. I'm going to actually purposely draw it dead small. Now it'll take over what it needs of that. Okie dokie. Now, on that interface, we say what interface are you using? Command bar interface, design bar, ribbon, status, tabbed. And that is it. That's very restrictive. And I don't use just one. I actually like to use a combination. So in the new one, you'll be that setting, it'll be backwards compatible. Don't worry, nothing's broke. But that setting will be per bar. So we can say, okay, we want a ribbon bar, but we also need a command bar maybe down at the bottom, so we can have a mixture of controls. Could even put a command bar above the ribbon bar, that kind of thing.
Nice.
So you'll be able to have a mixture of bar types all on the same control. So it saves on your initialization again. Yeah, it's just speed. But for now, we'll go with this. So standard, yep. Let's give ourselves that. Got a ribbon. The first thing we need to do is just go with that. Okay, we've got a bar. The height of this needs to match that bar, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that poses, and you probably got there show below, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that poses our first question, getting the height of this and synchronizing it to that. So this is where the ums and ahs start, because I'm going to dig the code out.
I used command bar dot orig height.
Well, there should be a function for this.
Yeah.
Sync that. And what does that do? So, just need to know I'm calling the right thing. So I'm going to actually put a button on here. Obviously it's not going to stay. And I'm just going to test. What I should be able to do is just say, I forgot to change the class name, which I always change it. Command bar. And all I was going to do on here is just basically call one of the built-in methods. Command bar dot sync OCX height. That's fourth. What that should do then, I'm just having a quick look. Okay, let's take a look at that. Because that will calculate what height the command bar needs for its content. Okay, in fact, it'd have been better to put that button on there. Let's quickly do that. Got a bar, create a tab. And a group NYS, so I've just got some stuff. And I'll do an export from the other thing in a minute to get us some content. Okay. No, it's not that. And I'm just going to clone our button. We'll be getting rid of that in a second. I just want it so I can keep telling it to clone. There's our button. That should recalculate. Brilliant. If I was to put that below, we can't see it, but now we can. Put it back above. We can. So basically, that's what you need to. That's the method you need to call. You've got sync OCX. Let me just get them for you. Sync OCX height. You should also have sync OCX width. And there should be another sync OCX as well. I'm just going to take a quick look at. Yeah. You've got sync OCX height with a force parameter, sync OCX width with a force parameter. Depending on your usage and with any of the controls, what I'm mentioning here is true for any of the controls. So sync OCX height, sync OCX width, and you also got sync position from OCX and sync position from ORIG. And sync position from resize as well. I'm not sure what that does. We're interested in this sync. So what I'm kind of going to do now, if you've been following, is when we need to change there, I'm going to tell the command bar to there. So kind of, not that, width, sorry. Do you know what? I'm going to do both. Okay, so what I'm hoping now is your command bar is kept, oops, in line. Okay, so you're using notify instead of post event, which is better, by the way. So on. Then we need to trap that button, but I would change. Wonder why the resize didn't do that. Show above. Just going to do a quick test. I want to see if a button is resizing correctly. So a quick way of doing that, I'm going to put a dummy button in that group, and I'm going to say basically align it to the right. And is it always visible? Oh, bad example. No, I'll tell you what, we'll take it off there and we'll put it actually on the bar itself, which a lot of people don't realize you can do. So instead of putting it in a group, I'm going to actually put it on the ribbon bar itself. Is that the bar? Yeah, ribbon. Yeah. So now instead of putting it in a group, we've actually put a button on the bar itself. So we've gone to the right. All good. Wonder why that's not recalculating there. But yeah, it does there. A little strange.
Because it's not seeing the event where you've clicked it.
Well, let's see the calculate. That should go off and recalculate.
But I don't think it's hitting that code.
Oh, put it on the open window instead of the resize. What an idiot. Right, I'll put it there. There you go. That's better. So now if I do that, we resize, and if we was to do show below, and it should, we'll do the event and we'll drop that in a second, but now it will still go off and recalculate accordingly. Good example in a second. Command bars are better for demonstrating these because what you can get is command bars which do require more width, so then they start expanding the actual height of the bar itself and so on and so forth. So that's a good example for testing this type of scenario. Right, so we need to know on that event, do we not? Is that one of them?
Yeah, that's one of them.
What was the other?
There's a minimize one.
Right. That a button on the command bar itself? Yeah, I take it you just added it to the command bar.
No, it should be showing up where it said more commands and.
Oh, let's have a look then, because I might have. I just chose it except to.
Allow bar to be minimized. That's right there. It's right under display
Yeah.
tabs. That needs to be on. Yeah. I know we have a lot of people who use that.
Okay, so it comes like so, and you just pop down when you need it.
Right.
Okay, that's going to be interesting. Yep, no, that's okay. Right, so we need that. If I do that, you see the calculate knows. So the calculate's done its job as you would expect. That's demonstrating that. We just need to know that particular event.
Right.
Let's crack it open and have a look then. That will go to their help. Add new. Nope, okay. Just gonna go doing some digging on mine. Okay. We're going to listen for, we're going to listen for an event, as an OCX event that is, not one of ours. The event we're going to listen for is resize. Anyone else notice, sorry to go off on a tangent, that within Clarion, your cursor keeps disappearing? I don't know if it's a recent Clarion Windows 10 update, but we can see the cursor there now, but I'm getting loads this last week where the cursor's just disappeared on an entry.
Huh.
Oh, go there. Yeah, it's proving me wrong now. But yeah, definitely this last week I have noticed some changes on that. Okay, so down to our command bars. Thank you. No, not that one. Just go down to ours. There you go. We're going to listen for the event. we get the name in, and we're going to listen for the resize, which we just got. So that, we want that of, and it is case sensitive, by the way, this. That's by design. Just in case any OCXs ever do have case sensitivity, we have to really emulate that. So what I'm thinking in here is just as we had our these two, the OCX has told us it's resized. So now we're going to go and synchronize our window to that new size. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Gone into one's calling the other, and it's going to basically not come out the other side. Okay. Got a couple of options open to me. We'll try this one first. We only want to do it after the initialization is completed. So any sizing after that. No, that's still going off. And fine, no problem. He says. What's going on? Yeah, Clarions. Yeah. Clarions decided to go AWOL on us and not let us get to the embeds.
I've had that happen recently.
But, in fairness, that's not the norm for me, but okay. These things happen. Is our code still there? Okay, so that's not helped us. That's fine. So what I want to do here is just try something, see if it helps us. So, and I'll tell you what this is in a second. Oh, come on. It's going to be annoying, isn't it? Go back to their help then. With what that will do is it will tell us not to process any more callback events. We're going into a deadlock, really. We're synchronizing a control, the height and the width, which in turn is causing a resize event, which in turn starts that, and so on and so forth. I would expect that to have had an effect. In fact, I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure. Oh. Make sure that did compile. Yeah, fine. Okay. Did I leave the thing open? No. Let's see if we can find it a different way then. Let's have a look at via this way. Okay. No. Maybe that event isn't actually triggering at that point. Should have done though, in fairness. Because the layout has changed. That's what the event said. Got to stop closing that. I'm going to move it onto the other screen. So we've got resize and resize layout. We don't trap for resize layout. We just trap for the resize. We don't have to specify to the window, do we? Should we put our? I'm going to add the ultimate debug here actually.
Make sure it's firing that event, huh?
Just want to check what we're getting. So ultimate debug. That's fine. And on here, we need to tell it to start giving us some debug output. That's fine. Ah, don't like the hyphen in the name, I take it.
No, I guess it doesn't.
Ah, see, can't see where the cursor is. So if I go
That's weird.
JOHN, and it's only this last, since last week or so. So it's got to be Windows 10 update. Can't think of anything else, unless it's clashing with GoToWebinar. But we've been doing these for eight or 9 years now, or whatever, 10 years. So I can't see that being the issue. But yeah, I'm glad somebody else saw that, and it's just not just me cracking up. Right, let's have a look, see if that compiles. Oh, debug. Oh, getting the resize occur there. Also getting some other stuff as well. Yep, the sync OCX item width. So all very good. Yep, I do that. We are getting the resize, but we're not getting the call. Post event sized. We have got our code in sized, have we not? Oh, post event user event. Oh yes, sorry. What an idiot again. Turned my brain on this afternoon. We use this event sized on the main app frame, not in here. Let's have a look.
There you go.
Yeah, we use the event sized on the app frame, and of course, in here we're just listening for a different one. Yeah, I just used event user, knowing that it wouldn't clash with any of the Clarion ones. So far so good. And what was the other one we wanted to do?
The show below ribbon. That was it, really. Just those two.
That will trap it automatically, because again, that's a layout change.
Right. I think that's it. The minimize and the other one.
Yep, that should cover you. So what we've covered there, apart from all the long-winded steps to just put a ribbon bar on, the main things you want is to listen to an event. And the event I'm listening to is resize. And there was a couple. If we go back to their help, sorry there, you got resize and resize client, but I would go for the resize personally, because imagine a ribbon bar, we haven't actually changed the, it depends on what it considers a client, because there's lots of clients in play there. There's a tab client, there's the group client, there's a bar client itself, there's a controls client. So, I don't think that's the best vehicle personally. Something that's changed the physical size is where we've said, right, it's below or it's minimized, that kind of thing. Don't think that's the prudent one. So we go to the resize, we listen for that. We've already got code in there to trap like Clarion resizing from the app frame, which is getting an event. And if we get that, we change the windows. If this is a docked window, we changed its size, and then we call these two controls. You probably get away with just the height, to be honest with you. Although, no, on the app frame that can change its width, so you would need to do both. From that point, now you've got under the command bars, we've got the event function. So now it's going to be listening. It's only listening for one event, but it'll still trigger. And it's listening for that. And we're just going to post that event user. We tried doing the resize as you saw there, but it puts it into like a deadlock.
Yeah.
One call in the other, and so on. So we just tell it basically, let it finish that, post the event up, and let Clarion's normal event handling kick in. And that should be it.
That should be it. Perfect.
Okie dokie.
Well done. Thank you.
No, quite the opposite. Thanks for your patience. So yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So, Steve, have you got a microphone? It's got a telephone with a. I'll see these. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, cool. Okay. So your question is, well, you're live. There you go. Your question is, what do you want to ask?
Well, I just want to make sure that I'm setting up the docking pane correctly, once I implement it into my app continues to shut down prematurely after a while after using the app. So I'm just making sure that I have all my check boxes checked and what have you.
Yeah, well, I promised to send you the beta of the new one, the new version, didn't I?
Yes.
I'll do that. No, I won't do that now in the middle of a webinar, but I will do it straight away afterwards. Okay, so I'll put where are you? You will get it straight after this. Okay, we'll still check your settings. Yeah, so I'll probably use our schedule it so I can show you the typical thing. Seem to use that all the time for DockingPanes. Just so you can get the typical settings, if you will. So Steve, DP beta. It's moved on a little, but that's fine. Actually, Steve, I might send it tomorrow when the version 19, when the new version, the CodeJock version's released, to be honest, because I'm doing various changes. So, yeah, I said at the start, we've got this 19.2 CodeJock support.
Well, I'm running 18.6 right now, the CodeJock.
It's not so much that, it's just I've done some changes in the common class and the library, which gets shipped as well, and I want to make sure what I pass you doesn't upset any of the old stuff. It shouldn't do,
okay.
But I just want to make sure I don't do by the same token, because if it's a case of, oh, Andy, this beta, I need such and such thing, I want to be able to respond and pass you whatever you need, that kind of thing. So we can hang fire. So yeah, I will give it to you. That's not a problem. So DockingPane, what look and feel? Have you got an example or a description of the look and feel that you're doing? How does it compare to, say, and I know I always bring this up, but we use this all the time, even though it's actually a live app. But this uses a lot of DockingPanes. So how does it look and the look and feel compared to something like this?
Well, I don't use as many of the different CodeJock controls as you do. I just use the DockingPane, the task panel, and then I have the property grid.
Okay, so you've got a task panel where on the left, is it?
Yep.
And is that in a pane?
Well, it's linked to a DockingPane, yes.
Yep, yeah, that's okay. Because this is in a pane. It's in the navigation pane, and it's hosting a task panel. And then I've got work area on the right. And you say a property grid? And where's the property grid?
Yeah, I have property grid on several of the screens.
And those screens, are they a Clarion window which is docked, or are they on the same? Where are they?
They're within a window that is docked, yes.
Fine, that's okay. Then let's take that property grid out of the equation for now. So really, we're talking about a pane that is docked and a task panel which is docked also on the left, I take it.
Correct.
Cool. Okay. So we'll go to the higher level of that.
I mean, I don't have a problem showing my screen if you want to look at it.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Let's take a look. Never thought of that. Okay, coming across to you. Oh, just one. Sorry, Steve. John, did you want me to zip that up and send that across to you, or did you get everything you need from that?
I can probably just pull it out of the video. There wasn't a lot there, so yeah.
No. It's not thinking so. But if you run into any problems, it's there, so we can send it. That's no problems.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay, cool. So so we're actually a property grid, and that's part of a window, I take it.
Yes, it is.
Cool. So where's your task panel then?
Task panel's right here under that.
Sorry, I was looking at thingy. I only saw from project list onwards. I didn't actually see the panel on the left. So yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good. Okay, so let's have a look at those settings. Like I say, chances are it's going to be more the it's going to be more the DockingPane, but we'll take a look.
All right. So there's my there's my task panel, and then here's the docking pane. Which one you want to look at? The docking.
Is this the main menu, or is this running on the app frame, or is this a window in its own right?
It's a window that the frame calls when it opens up.
Oh, okay.
So my main frame, and my main screen.
Yep.
That's it. And then there's an embed that calls the screen here.
Okay, got you.
And then task panel, docking pane.
Okay. Can you open any other windows without the docking pane?
Well, I can from, well, here, it's just, let me ask you, see if I'm understanding your question. I mean, I can open windows such as that. I mean, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So what about, is everything done from that? So you've got the dashboard there, I take it, and then you've got projects and vendors and so on and so forth, and each one of those open up on the right. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, not all of them do. I have some here that will open a window.
Right.
Not all of these will. Yeah. I mean, all these ones here will open into the right-hand side, and there's a couple down here that will as well.
Yeah. I've got you. I noticed you haven't got a resize on there. Oh, there's not all of the area is actually being resized.
Well, in the case of the vendors, I don't have any additional information to fill over here, so I just didn't want to stretch it out.
Okay.
As far as going, okay.
Okay. That's fine. Let's have a look at your pane setup then. So we've got.
So I have the navigation.
Yep.
Open that one there. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay.
Probably. And then here's where I'm.
That's fine.
Okay.
Part of a work. Auto hide. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I paused on the other one only because you had a width of 110. That's fine. And that's have like a percentage if you would. But you had a height of 200. I just wondered what was going underneath that and so on, because you've got a height here of 1,000. The other one will.
Which one are we talking about?
Well, the navigation had
okay.
200. What I would do is think of them as like a percentage of 1,000, if you will. So if you go back to this one, size and position, you've got it as 875 and 1,000 opening to the right of nav. Okay.
Right.
None of this will cause any crash or end or anything like that. It's just a bit of training on, the good practice on the definition. So now, if you think you want this as a percentage of 1,000, okay, you said the height is you want the whole height 1,000. That's great. Okay, the width, if that's 875, I'd expect the other one to be 125, if that makes sense, to add up to the 1,000.
You want this? You should be 125.
No. If you go back to your navigation, that's 875. Take a note of that. Go back to your navigation. And you put 110 on that, and I would have expected that to be 125 because basically you've got a total there of 985.
Okay.
If you think of them as 1,000 and you're doing them as a percentage of that, you want the height to be the full height, so 1,000.
Right.
So you want to change that.
So change this to 1,000 as well.
Yep. And that to 125 if the other is 875, totaling 1,000 again. Okay.
Gotcha.
So okay, that, and let's just quickly check your. We'll go into the other panes. So we'll go back to dashboard if we can.
Okay. Dashboard?
Please, yeah. So we've got size and position move up to. Okay, so we've got that. It's opening to the right of the nav, and it's in a collection of lowercase work, which was on the definition tab. Let's go to the content, but I'm presuming it's just starting a procedure, something like, yeah, fine, okay. So we're starting a procedure. Okay, so we've got that, and okay that. Let's go to our next one, project list. So collection, lowercase work, fine. Options, auto hide, others, yep. And don't open until, yes, basically lazy open. So you're opening to the dashboard by default. Is that correct?
This one here, yes, does.
Yeah, on the control itself. Yep, that's good. And you've got it attached. So this is attached to the dashboard. I would have, just in case you ever folded it, I'd have the docking direction to the right there instead of the left. Okay. We'll just check the same for the others. So calendar, well, let's just check all the others.
Calendar's not being used right yet, so.
Okay.
Well, then these probably should all be changed to right.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Because if you allow, oh no, go back to panes. And now use up to, you want parts listing.
Yeah, I can go ahead and change all these. I mean, I will have to go to each one of them. I can do it afterwards.
So all
these are basically all set up the same.
Yeah, and I would expect so. So that's good. Okay, now, okay that, and let's go to just a couple of the things which are called. So your dashboard procedure and maybe your parts listing or one of the other ones which are called.
You want to go to the window itself, or
no, the extension, if we can, please. So this is being called. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So what I would do on there is go to the docking pane content management. Okay, and we've got on there that it can be used as a piece of content. Now here, this is an interesting question. Well, interesting point. This extension is automatically added to every procedure. It makes it quite easy for you to be able to say, okay, this is going to be used as a piece of content. And the idea is, it does actually allow you, from a chain point of view, to actually skip out a level and have a grandchild dock in the position of a parent, of its grandparent, if you will. What I mean by that is, not that I bet you're probably not using this facility, but it would just explain why it's doing it. So we open a pane on the right. Let's say it's a browse procedure, and that can be used as a piece of content. And that's great. Then we open a form on that. Now we don't turn the particular settings on for that form to say you can be used as a piece of content and so on, but it's still and we do turn that on. We don't call it explicitly. The parent is the true content of that pane, but the browse is the true content of that pane. But when you click the update form, what you can actually have it do is the update form can take the place of its parent. So it actually takes over the pane. The parent is still there, the browse is still there, but it's just, you don't see it. It's in limbo, if you will. Because if you think of a normal Clarion MDI browse and update form and so on, if you go onto the update form, you can't click anywhere on the browse because it's its parent window. It's on the same thread, and you're on the very topmost window of that thread. Okay, so what the docking pane will actually allow you to do is allow that update form to take the place of its parent, the browse, and then when it closes, the browse is automatically brought back into view for you as well. So you've got that. So you would have to on the update form have this extension and have it enabled. You can, if you like, skip out a level. So you might have lookup windows which are called, and they don't want to be part of a chain, but they might call an update form in turn, which can be part of the chain. So it gets very complicated is my point. So you've got like a parent, then a child, so a browse and a form, and the form takes the place. A lookup, you don't want the lookup to take the place, it's just a lookup window, but if that lookup calls an update, you do want it to. So you've got all this flexibility, complexity really, if you want the truth. So that's why it's automatically added. I'm wondering, and I still haven't quite made my mind up for the next version of whether it should be added or it shouldn't, and you add it manually instead of going there and saying, you know, the window can be used as a piece of content. You just actually add it itself, and the reason for that is it adds an overhead to every procedure, and that's probably going to be part of the cause of why you're getting this premature end. Okay, so the next version, 1,000,000% better, and so on. But the version you've got now, what I would recommend is all the procedures you've got, which you are using this extension on, brilliant. You've got your settings right, and you can press OK on that. Go to a window where, go to an extension, a procedure where you're not using it. So I would there actually disable the template as well.
Oh, okay, down here.
Yeah, so I would do that
Okay.
as well. And then that
So
stops
do that to
any
all the ones that I'm not using it on as well.
Yeah, hence why I'm looking at the thing of, do I really want, you know, to be automatically adding it and then have a user go through and having to disable it everywhere? I mean, you shouldn't have to disable it. There is a fault, you know, and it's better in the next version. In fact, I think it's fixed in the next version and so on, but it's still subject to testing, of course. But my point being is, for the one you've got, there is a fault in there, so the only way you can really get around it is to disable on each one. Definitely.
Yeah, I can do that. It's not a problem.
The only other one I would say is if you go to, let's go back to one where you are using it. So I think it was Project 1 or something like that. Yep. And on there, I noticed you had WinEvent. And WinEvent can cause an issue with, I think it's DockingPanes. And I forget which setting it is. If you go to settings, the make window visible on desktop, I would maybe take that off. Say no, or disable WinEvent on that particular extension, because I have had reports off users, and I've seen it myself, where it's clashing with WinEvent. I think it's that particular setting which we've just covered there. So I would recommend at least turning that setting off if you still need WinEvent on that procedure.
I have to go back and check.
But apart from
probably
that,
not using it.
Your settings look pretty good, in fairness. But I would definitely go through and yeah, just disable on all the ones what you're not using it on. And that's
okay.
After that long-winded description, that's why I've got my hesitancy about, do I automatically add or do I not automatically add, that kind of approach, because the code is needed to enable you to have this window chaining, which I mentioned a minute ago, and so on, but not everyone uses that. In fact, there's a very small percentage of users use it. So I want to go with the best approach for the majority, obviously.
Okay.
So yeah, but give that a whirl and see how you fare.
All right, I'll make these changes and we'll go from there. Then you said you'll send out, was it 4.06?
It was 4.06 and a letter. I forget where we're up to now, C or D or maybe even G or something like that. It's moved on. All right. So yes, I will. I'll send that, but it'll be when after the version 1902 support has been released, which should be, you know, tomorrow afternoonish. I've just got one reg-free com setting to check because it failed testing on one of the controls, so I've got to look into that and then and finish off the builders. That's it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okie dokie. Cheers, Steve.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, and we're nearing where are we up to? We've got a hand up. Open the mic. Chaoyan, is it? I've got a hand up, but no question. And it's not, yeah, I'm unable to unmute, unfortunately.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. Hello.
One is so I have a command bar.
Yep.
So yeah. So what is there any way because the ribbons is white, you know? So when sometimes you want to minimize, is there any way to minimize to save a space?
A command bar?
Yeah.
Which interface is a command bar? Is it a ribbon interface, a command bar interface, or a tabbed interface?
What does that mean?
Okay, just 1 second. We've just done some of this at the start of the webinar, but just let me show you. So on the command bar, what interface do you use there?
Let me hold on. Let me maximize. I have to see. Ribbon bar.
Okay. So one setting you do go to the bar, and you've got allow.
I checked that allow bar to be minimized, but
Okay.
it doesn't. I didn't see anything where I can click to minimize.
Okay, we'll show you now. Yep. So you have an option to say minimize the bar, which will take less space.
Yeah, that would be cool, but I didn't see that.
That option in the template is what controls that particular option.
That's new feature.
No, it's been around a long time.
Oh.
So you need to on the bar, go to the bar definition.
Bar def. Okay, let me check. Is yeah.
And you want the ribbon bar.
Oh, sorry. Not open right now. Yeah. If it was not. Yeah. Okay. So what can you show me? What the you accept that ribbon? Yeah, I checked that. What the other setting you have? Yeah, I checked that this morning. I just tried that.
That's the only one. If I turn that on and compile, then the user doesn't get the particular option. But if you turn that back on again,
I need. So that's the only.
Then it appears.
That's the only thing I need to check. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have got other options. Let me have a quick look. This example is not working on the app frame, so I'm not sure it'll work on this example, but we'll try. So I'm going to put an option on there. I'm going to call it min. Oh, just 1 second. No, okay, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze, but I didn't do. Okay, so I'm going to add an option to the ribbon bar. So I'm going to say to add it to the ribbon. Let's say minimize. And you have a setting on here, if I remember rightly. No. No, I'm just trying to think of it. Okay, tell you what, we won't do it on here. Let me go back to the normal example. Okay, just wondered if it's on this example, just so I can find you maybe a user. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, see, that's it. That's the minimize. But there is a setting, it's in one of the examples I did, where we add an option over to the actual main menu and have you minimize it there. And I can't remember what it is. It depends. What is it you're trying to achieve for your end user?
Yeah, just like the minimize button or something that they can click to minimize that. So it just shrink the ribbon. We have a code. We know how to do that in the code to minimize.
Well, maybe
only menu bar.
Go back to John's example 1 second ago, because that's very busy. So let's take that one out and we'll just go back to this. We were about to add a control. So in fact, we'll change that right and we'll call it minimize. There you go, that's a better one. Okay. Something like that. I don't know if this will help, but we'll execute a clarion command. And what it can do is it can do self.set ribbon bar minimized. So ribbon bar we want to do it itself, so that's the actual name of the bar, and we'll set it to true. Okay. No, that doesn't do what I wanted it to do. That allows for it, but it doesn't necessarily actually minimize it.
Minimize.
Okay. Maybe this, because your bar does also have a strategy which you can use, but that's a whole different setting. So I'm just going to try this instead. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a bar property. The bar is going to be the ribbon. I'm going to set the minimized. See, my cursor's disappeared. Sorry about this. Minimized, and I'm going to set it to true. Now that can be true or false, of course. So let's just try that. So if I press that, that will minimize. Now, of course, you'd want to toggle that. Okay, but that minimizes it. That's not, and that will do again, which is minimize. So basically, That's a built-in function from the CodeJock facility controls. That is us just doing it manually. So you would want to basically put some code to trap that to say, okay, get or set it according to its current minimize. So really, the code
okay, to add minimize control, so user can. Let's
take that. Just 1 second, I'll get you a better one. So. Okay, so we want the minimize button. So in the new selection, yeah, straight past it, under minimize. And what we're going to do is we're going to toggle the minimize. So if get bar property, if the absolute of that is true, which means it's currently minimized, then we're going to set it to false. Else, we are actually going to make it minimize. That makes sense? So they press the minimize button. That's going to, if it's currently minimized, it's going to unset it. Otherwise, it is going to set it. So that is basically just like the CodeJock button, but that will just keep bringing it back and forth for you. And of course, you would put a nice icon on that and so on.
So when you click, it's minimized.
Yeah. So when you click it, I'll show you the code again so you've got it in front. It would be something like that.
After accepting.
Yeah, on the new selection. So it's the command bar, new selection, and then it's whatever control you're putting it on.
Okay.
I mean, what you could do when you define that control is have it as a button, but on the options you can actually say you can toggle it. So by default it's off. So what it will actually do is show it as highlighted and then not, or show it as highlighted and then not, or don't have it as a button and maybe have it as a checked. It really comes down to your own, your own visual design. So, but instead of a button, because a button can be checked, but I'll actually have it as a checkbox, minimize. Oh, I never did toggle on it, sorry. I changed the type, but I didn't change the setting. Toggle that value. We toggle the button, but of course this is different. So by default it's false, which is not minimized, and then as they toggle it, it will toggle accordingly.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. So that I see the left side there is the small icon. That also for that one. When you click, that's show a menu.
Yeah,
that's for that checkbox.
That's all settings to do with the bar definition. You can bring that into this bar if you want and that kind of thing.
So that's an extra band. It seems like yeah. I mean that even it's not wide, but I mean not high, but still extra space.
You
Okay.
wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, you can turn that off for the user, and this will still work. So it's really, how you want to work it. We
I
could.
think, yeah, button is good.
We can merge those and get it so it looks a little better. So on the bar, I think is it here? Merge quick access with tabs. I think it's that one. Yep. Yeah, so now it appears to the left.
Okay.
So visually that's a little nicer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. No, we have tag we have DockingPanes. So they will show as they are showing as tabs. So only on the top.
Okay.
Is started when we start APP. So we use a lazy start for the other panes.
Yeah.
So when we close, we put the close button on each tab. So when we click a close button, the tabs being selected is closed, so it automatically highlights the next pane. But that pane is not loaded because it's lazy loading. So I can't find any way to. So at that point, the user closed a pane. So the current pane is being selected. So I know I need to load to start that procedure. But because we don't want to show a blank,
No.
pane.
Okay, let me look at that. You're on the beta with to Steve before.
Yeah, do you have an example of that tabs? Those panes?
No, but I do know what you're referring to. So you've got multiple tabs. I have multiple panes here.
But they are not shown as tabs.
Yeah. So you do have them. So I'm not going to quickly change this, but yeah, there's multiple panes here. The other panes, like for example, the staff list, that opens when it's required to open, that kind of thing. My machine is so slow at the moment. Don't know what's going on, but yeah, so that pane only opens on demand. On yours, you have all the panes, but they are lazy open.
Right. Yeah.
And you can close so you can close the active pane, and the next one then visually becomes active. But you're saying the content isn't becoming active, and it should do. So I will have to look at that. So I'm just making a note now. So close tabs, next pane, non-active, no, not loading. Right. I'll take a look at that. I know what that is.
You know how? Okay. Yeah. So
yeah.
So I saw there is I put some log in panes some take event, or I didn't see any event when I close a pane. I highlight kernel pane is highlight. So
all events will go via the action embed point.
Yeah, so, I tried. Yes.
Yeah, but don't worry, that I can fix that, and I'll just send a new beta. So as I send Steve the new beta, I'll look at I'll look at that for you and send you the beta at the same time.
Yeah,
so
that is a big problem. Yeah, that's a big problem for us because we saw the user close the pen, then it say a blank. Yeah.
Well, the good news is I think the fix is relatively simple. So that's the good news.
Okay.
I just need to.
Yeah, because why we've been using lazy open because we have almost 10 pens. We don't want start APP to start all the pens.
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why when the user click a pen tab, then we start. But when they close, the pen is they didn't click a pen, so we don't know. Yeah.
We're trapping the certain actions, and we just need to trap that particular action that it's now become the active pane. I did some changes on Friday to the latest DockingPanes and added some methods. Where are they?
That sounds good. Okay.
And it's to do with the action. I'll just bring up the notes. Just 1 second. Yeah, I did a change in this area on Friday, so I know exactly how I can do this. So yeah, so just 1 second.
Yeah, if you could add some more,
another C, and we added. Where are we? We added. We've got some new methods. We've got a broadcast event to child windows, so you can now broadcast messages. You can broadcast notifications and broadcast events to all the children from a docking pane, rather than being explicit to each pane. You can set the active, so you can get the active pane, and this is what I was referring to. So we can now
Yep. Active pane, yeah.
But you can also get the active pane from a collection. So you can have multiple different panes on the window at the same time, all for different collections, and you can tell what the active pane is just for one collection. And this is all to do with efficiency.
Actually, you know what? I did try to get the active pane from collection, but there's no one.
Well, now you have a new method, and it's called get active pane from collection. So you pass it the collection, and it tells you the pane that is currently in focus.
Oh.
That was just added on Friday, so that's good. You've got get pane opened to tell you if a pane has been opened, and of course we've got some code compatibility and so on, and a fix. So the auto hide of other panes. There's also a bug in the version you've got. So we've got that. So we're near it. We'll definitely get another beta out. So to yourself, and I know Steve's still here. You'll want that new beta. So it'll be 406C, that new beta. And so feel free. Give me till at least close of day tomorrow. So give me until let's say Wednesday morning. Oh no, I'll tell you what. Give me Wednesday morning, because I'm 5 hours ahead of you guys usually around that time. So give us till the start of Wednesday. As you sign in, send me an email, say where's the update, and we should be in a position to send it through to you, just in a zip, but it should be in a position to send it through to you.
Okay.
So because I will touch on it not now, because we're a little over time, but one of the things for people, this will be really nice for people. We use a docking pane, obviously, in lots of windows, and this is probably a good example here. Okay, so I've got a docking pane on a particular patient, so I can go there. Okay, go to that, or there, and then I've got another pane down at the bottom. This is a Clarion window down at the bottom, hosted in a pane. And in here, this also has lots of panes and so on. And on here are different tabs and different report controls. So one of the changes we're doing to the report control is the equivalent of the active invisible for Clarion. Currently, it doesn't have it. So if you're using the reset fields and things like that, then it will just, as this is changing, it will go off and load all of these accordingly. And we don't want to do it. It's not very efficient. So now it won't do that. It will have a look at how it's being hosted, have a look if it's visually. This is if you want it to, of course. It's still backwards compatible, but have a look if it's how it's being hosted. Is it on a tab? Is it in a hidden group? Is it in a docking pane? That kind of thing. Have a look at its host, and have a look at should it be resetting itself yet? And if it isn't, then it doesn't do. So it saves on a lot of the refreshing, as you can imagine, in the background. And of course, that's where this collection comes into it, because you can have these in collections just like you're using. And we also want to know which is the active pane within that collection, so we're not refreshing when we don't need to, things like that. So it's all combinations of them working together.
Yeah, our types, just panes just like this. Those. Yeah, but you don't have the closed one on the tab. Yeah, we add the closed one. Yeah,
So, okay. So, yes, drop me an email on Wednesday, and I will get that through to you.
So I have you have Alan Schoolcraft email, so you
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's no problem. Yep.
Or you can send me. I don't know if you have my email address.
Well, send me the email. Mention, I know it's yourself anyway, but mention Alan, and yeah, that's no problem. I can just send you, set up a Dropbox share or a Skype or whatever. We can get it to you that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And then just going to quickly move on. We've got two questions. One, Roberto, is there a way to change the order of the class definitions? I think I know where you're going with this, Roberto. You are muted at the moment, Roberto. So you're not. You're unmuted. You've muted yourself. You're self-muted. Okay, so he's not. He might have stepped away a second. So Roberto's question was: is there a way to change the order of the class definitions? Now, of course, I don't know to what he's referring to.
Okay.
Oh, but you can tell us himself.
It took me a while to get to the control. I got 3 screens up and running, and the cursor was somewhere. No. I have a report control and a property grid on the same window. Unfortunately, the class for the report control is sitting before the property grid. And I'm grabbing with the report control, I'm grabbing stuff out of the property class, and it's initialized because the report class is defined first. It's initializing first, which kind of.
Well, I think it's the embed point you're doing it. I would put that in the init complete of either of the controls, because by that point, both should have initialized and have their content. So it doesn't matter if A is being calling B or B is calling A.
No, it's the init complete for the embed points for the init complete for the RC is getting called before the init complete. It's on the you can watch you can look at that and the init this window init thing and how they're being laid out. So I'll figure it out. But
how are you loading the content? Where are you loading the content then?
In that particular location, but it's not working because the RC is initializing in the first.
Okay, so the RC is initializing and it wants to take some parameters out of the property grid. Is that what you're saying? Something like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how are those parameters? How is the content of the property grid being initialized? And at what point?
At the init complete that you mentioned.
No, then don't put them in there. Put them in the init template settings if you're going to do it anywhere then.
An init template setting?
Yeah, right at the end, something like priority 9999.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
In this window in it, I had to rearrange it, which is what I was going through. I was just saying if it was a yes or no, if you could order it. Obviously, that's a no, and that's fine. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, but we can't. No, there is actually some logic to how things are initialized. Okay, but a long time ago, we came across various examples of exactly what you're saying here, where one control A wants to use control B settings and control C's content and so on and so forth. So each of the templates, any of our templates, go through a certain initialization process, which we've mentioned in the past, and that is init prepare, init template settings, and init complete. There are a couple of others along the way. There's init security and init resize, but don't worry about those. So now they are defined with a slight exception. They are defined in the order that you add them to the window, and that's a Clarion type thing. So if you
well, this one I actually checked that also. The property grid is defined. It's defined first.
Yeah. So so that's why we purposely said, okay, so basically what used to happen is all of the property grid stuff, let's say property grid was added first and then report, oh no, you said report control added first and then property grid. So all of the report control.
It's easy. It's just I was just curious. All right.
Oh yeah,
Because
no,
yes,
I'm just giving a background.
I just have to arrange it in a way that it works. But that's fine. I was just curious if you could. And
Well, all I was
obviously,
going to say is all of the controls init steps are called together. There used to be all of the property grid would do its task together, then all the report control would do its task together, then all of whatever, say command bar would be. Now they don't. So all of the init prepares are done together, then all of the inits, then all of the init template settings, then all of the init completes. So if one of your controls is dependent on the other, make sure you have your settings loaded, whatever, and so on before the init complete. And then when you get to init complete, you know that it is done. So and from the template's point of view, that's exactly what it does. So the template, like let's say the calendar in the template will load its stuff in the init template settings. The property grid itself will load its content in the init template settings, and so on and so forth. Even the report control. So that by the time any of them get to init complete, they can see each other's data. So it sounds like you're loading the data in the wrong place. So if you move it to init template settings right at the end, 9999 or 10,000, then that's all you need to do, and it will all work.
all right. Thank you. Yeah, I was just trying to verify.
Okay.
Thank you. I just have to move where the initialization happens before the init completes, so everybody could see everybody at the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a golden key there. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
No problems. And then last but not least, and seem to thank him for his patience, Alex, where are you? There you are. So Alex, have you got a mic? It's open. Or yep. No, I think we're struggling.
Can you hear me?
Yep. And it was just Alex is on. He's identified a resize issue, not a resize, a loading issue with the latest report control. It's only to do with legacy. We thought if you remember in the last release, we'd fixed. We did some major changes to the report control loading for page enhanced browsers. This is for browser enhanced report controls, and when they are page enhanced, page loaded and file loaded as well. Anyway, long story short, it does work until it detects a resize event, and then it's not quite working correctly. So hooked up with Alex a couple of times, and Alex, no, I haven't, but shall we put some more time to it tomorrow? Is that okay? Tomorrow afternoon, say you're 5 hours behind, so if we say maybe 11 a.m. your time, 4 p.m. my time, is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and we've got, just for everybody else's knowledge, because I'd like to be quite honest and open, yeah, we've got the code. We know what the code is we want to do. It's just trapping the event. Legacy code is not the nicest to work with, if truth be told. It doesn't give you nowhere near as many embed points. You can see where you need to put the code, but from a template point of view, it just doesn't exist. There's no embed points there, and can't see soft velocity changing that anytime soon. Besides which, it won't be backwards compatible. So we know the code. We've put it on a button. It works. And we just need to find the correct embed point, which from a legacy point of view. So I've got a couple of ideas. I had a couple of ideas over the weekend of how we can basically flood. We'll use Ultimate Debug and we'll just flood all the embed points until we get the particular embed point that we're after, Alex, and then we'll put it in there. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully we know what our code is. We're just going to flood all the embed points with Ultimate Debug messages until we get what we're after, and then we'll put it in there, make sure it works, and you'll be the first to get the beta.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
So, okie dokie. Right,
Andy.
and on that, oh yeah, and that's
Andy.
John. Yes, John, did you see that minimize the code, which we did a minute ago?
I did. That was cool. I
thought you might like that.
I did like that. I was going to ask you to actually do me a favor. I got mine working while
Okay.
you were working with other people, which is neat, but I changed the theme to Office 2016 and Word : white, and it's got like a little gray bar at the bottom. I wanted to see if it did the same thing on yours.
Let's try that. So it's got the latest files. I'm on 19.2, which potentially actually will cause.
I was on 18.4.
We'll try this on 16 first. So you say Office 2016.
Okay. Right, Word white, just like that.
Word white. Okay, cool.
It's pretty neat. I just rewound. Yeah, see, that's what mine's doing too. It's got the gray thing at the bottom. Is that part of the theme, or is that the window underneath?
Let me take a quick look at the code. It's on the calculate, isn't it? So let's have a quick look. In fact, we'll bring the code in so you can see where we're going with it. So we've got a sync OCX height. OCX height. So here it is. Okay. So we're working out the client height. I think it might be in the calc overall height. So what this actually does is we're buying some variables. We actively read the content of the command bar, totting up basically the height of each element. Got a type there. I'm wondering if it's that.
There's the adjustment right there. Yeah, look at that. There's a 10. That's what I was thinking. It looked like about 10.
Okay, well, one quick way of doing that. Let's just change that to that. No, not in that one. Need to put this back in a second. NIS command bars. Bear in mind they've fine-tuned these several times over. You know the actual theme file. So when you get a new Office 2016 DLL, you think it's still the same theme. It's not. They do fine-tune it with each build. So yeah, so it's that.
There you go.
So it looks like I'm going to have to take into account the build, the Clarion, the CodeDoc version you're on, and adjust it accordingly. I know it sounds crazy, but this is, this is, yeah. You can think, not you personally. This is general. But basically, the point I'm going to make is, I go to say 18.6. I can go to the styles and you think, okay, I've got a file called Office 2016 DLL. Brilliant. And then I'll go to 19.2 styles, and I've still got Office 2016 DLL. It's the same thing. It's not. They are worlds apart. If you look at the update history of CodeDoc, and they'll tell you what, and they physically fix the theme painting issues in each of the DLLs, because it's ultimately just markup language, and they fine tune and fix them. So what I'll have to do is, oh joy, I better make a note of that then. Office 2016 offset. But the quick fix for you there, which is nice, is if you just manually, just temporarily go to your command bar CLW and just change that ribbon adjust when you're in the Office 2016. And that will be measured in pixels. But technically, I suppose I could actually just set that to 0. Yeah, there's nothing at all there now.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay.
They certainly
What
keep
line?
me on
Where
my
was
toes.
that?
Yep.
I'll
So
do
you
it right
want
now. What line?
Yep. Calculate overall height.
Calc overall height. Okay.
Oh, calc. Sorry, reading what I want rather than what's there. And then within that, you will see we're looking at the active theme. So there's a case on self.ocx theme.
Got it.
Yep. And I'm just
All
going
right.
to put that back. I know I'm breaking mine, but yes, basically, yeah.
Huh. Nice. Okay.
So quick fix. It looks like a rig. It's not. These was actually when the first themes came about. These were actually painstakingly calculated, and it looks like if they fix theirs, now I need to go and fix mine. Oh joy. Never mind.
This is kind of neat. When I was making my fixes, I went to YouTube and just rewound the live recording. While it's recording right now, I just look back on what we had just done. It's kind of neat. It's like a little DVR right there.
Yeah, very good. Well, I thought
Cool.
I thought to yourself when we covered this this little thing there. So I mean that's okay. Lets the user do exactly what they want, and we also merged it in with the tabs as well, just because we're not. I thought it looked a bit neater.
Yeah,
Merged that
that's
in
pretty
there.
much how mine is, just like that. And then I've got some more shortcuts off to the left of that too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. But yeah, just a quick option there. Does look rather nice.
It does, yeah.
So. Right. Well, on that note, we'll end on a high. So everybody, don't forget there is no user group webinar next Monday, and that's because I'm being self-indulgent and taking a long weekend. But there will be one the week after, as normal.
Right. I will go cancel that.
Okie dokie. So cool. So until until 2 week. Thank you everybody, and Steve and I'm not going to say it right. Charion. Don't forget to drop me a message on Wednesday. I'll get the new DockingPanes beta to you. Not a problem. Okay. See you all in a couple of weeks. Thanks everybody.
Bye.